much analysis to do yet. We
know.
don't. No offense to anyone on the teams.
No,
we just don't know you yet. And hopefully,
we had the same problem last season.
I'm Rotate, the manager for Re-Redemption.
And I'm ATZ, the hit scan DPS and captain of Re-Redemption.
Hello, I am Ace Flash. I am the manager of One Trick Wonders.
My name is Shifting, and I am the assistant manager for One Trick Wonders.
My name's Spoon, and I'm the coach for One Trick Wonders.
Hi, my name is Paradox. I am the manager of Hyperflex.
I'm Tyranitar, and I'm the manager for Geometric.
My name is Maverick. I'm the manager for Platchat.
And my name is Vaporeon. I'm the captain and Nof Tank for Platchat.
Hi, I'm Navino. I'm the manager and owner of Team Wisdom, which also runs Team Wisdom Academy.
Who did you pick for your first overall, and why did you need to get them first?
So our first pick was First Abyss, and we wanted to get First Abyss because supports are super slim in numbers when it comes to Novice, and we felt that First Abyss was one of the best supports in Novice. We wanted to ensure that we had a good support going into the season.
Felt like a lot of his mechanics were really good, to be specific. His comms were also really good, which I liked. It's basically, we saw him as a very safe pick that we didn't have to fix very much on him. There was a lot of things that we really liked about him.
Our selection for first overall pick was Unseen, who is listed as a main support. Now, it's kind of funny because our captain is also a main support in Regan, but we picked Unseen for a number of reasons. Unseen has a lot of flexibility, so we know that he can play the flex support roles. Additionally, he had a lot of synergy with Regan before the season started, so establishing that support line synergy early was super important for us.
We went with Pineapple. We thought he was a really good off tank, and his comms were really good. He had really good comms and game sense, and seemed to never tilt.
He was also very flexible. He was able to play not just the off tank, but also the flex support role. So we knew that if we needed to do some maneuvering, if we got some roles sniped or draft picks sniped from us, that we'd be able to still have a solid base with Pineapple.
Picked up Storm as our first pick because one, he's really good, and other people would probably want him, and two, he synergizes really well with our captain, which is really big in here since they wanted to play with each other.
So the first pick we ended up going with was our main tank, Nias, and that mostly has to do with the fact that I believe a strong team starts with a strong tank line, and since we already had Vaporeon, I just wanted a really strong main tank that's very level-headed to go alongside him.
I fully agree with what you said. I haven't played much with him personally, but he just seems like the standout for GG2Easy in the Captain's Cup.
So we picked Awkward first overall. There weren't a huge supply of really good supports. There was probably like 4 or 5. So I wanted to get what I thought of the best one at the get-go. Awkward just stood out because he's really great mechanically, and that was really the biggest thing. Is like it's harder to teach mechanics than it is to teach decision making, at least to us. So like when you have great mechanics, it's really easy to stand out, and then we can teach decision making. We thought his decision making was okay. Like he had some issues we wanted to work on, like his positioning, but he had the foundation that we thought made him a really great player. So that's what took number 1 overall.
Who were you surprised that you were able to get in the later rounds?
Biggest one I was surprised that we managed to grab was Alpha Omega, honestly. He is a very strong hit scan and just flex in general. He plays a lot of heroes. He has dominated in a lot of the pugs he's played in, not quite as much as some other players that like Phone when he was still playing in Novice. But if he's playing good and he's feeling good, he can entirely dominate a game. And I'm surprised that a lot of people of the other teams didn't pick him up. It was incredibly unusual to me, and I'm very glad we got him. I think he's going to be a huge part of our team.
For me, it would be either Alpha Omega or Lordy, all things considered, as he is a very crucial to support for our picks.
So we got Lordy right after Alpha Omega, and Lordy is a very level-headed player, just like Nias, in my opinion, and he he takes up a lot of in-game leader responsibilities when Vaporeon won't. He's very good at ult tracking, calling when we engage fights. He's going to be a very central piece of our team.
Honestly, most of the team, we didn't. We had Arrow, Regan, and I, and Melancholy as well, our assistant coach. We spent a lot of time going over the teams. Even though we didn't host that many pugs, we spec'd some other pugs, and we had a pretty good idea of who we wanted. And we were surprised we were able to get people, even, as technically early as the 3rd and 4th round. Some of our top picks were still around, but around round 6 with Alucard, round 5 with Sad Boy, and later in the rounds, some maybe of the underdog picks like Fireburn. Golden Pants is an old friend of mine who didn't go to many pugs, so I was happy to get him as well. So really, this draft went, I think, extremely well for Hyperflex. I'm super happy with all 11 players that we ended up getting in this draft.
No You is, we were surprised because he was a top tier main tank in the pugs. He was doing very well. A lot of people were inviting him to the private pugs, and he was being scouted a lot. So we were surprised that he hadn't been picked up yet. So we were very happy to have him as a second main tank.
Actually, I was surprised. Okay, so there was a meme in the stream chat of nepotism when we took my brother, Red Knight. So you probably didn't even know that. Red Knight is my brother, and I didn't want to draft him. I really didn't, because the thing is I don't want to have to coach or run a team with my brother. He got me into Overwatch, but me and him were just very different play styles. We butt heads a lot, and it was just personality wise, it made more sense to me not to take him. But we got to round 8 or 9, and he still hadn't been picked up when this guy got invited to a lot of privates. A lot of people were impressed with him, and I was very surprised he lasted till round 8 or 9. And then I believe Phone did a little novice draft analyzation, and when I watched it back, and when we picked Red Knight, someone goes, "Oh, well, they got the second best main tank in the draft," and we got him in round 9.
Some of the more surprising things would be Urban Hero and Swedish. They kind of popped off in pugs a lot, especially early in the pug window, and I kind of expected them to go within the first 5, especially not 7 and 9, to be completely honest.
I was surprised Martini lasted until round 5. Martini's a very, very solid main support. Has a bit lacking in comms, but is a great player overall, and I could see no reason as to why they went as long as they did.
I don't really know. Most of our players we picked in the later rounds because of their peaks, which is weird to say, because if we know higher ranked players probably have better mechanics than lower ranked players who show up to pugs, and it's easier to coach them to synergize with the team than to coach just learn how to aim.
Who do you think will become a surprise all-star on your team that a lot seem to be sleeping on?
We don't really think many people are sleeping on any of our players, but a few people are doubting Bob's, and we think he's going to be really good. And Good Doggy's a bit of an unknown, but he's going to pop off.
One of the DPS that we noticed pretty early in our pugs scouting was Fireburn. He's bronze in rank, but his Reaper was really surprising to us, and he had a lot of good comms as well. So we have a lot of people. Melancholy is an assistant coach who's specifically going to be working with our DPS, and we do have a lot of DPS. But Fireburn is someone that we all agreed on the team that we liked his play a lot. So I'm really pleased I was able to get him, and I think in the right situations, Fireburn could turn into a real monster.
Okay, you're gonna get pissed at me, but this Spoon dude, he seems.
Alright, on the real though, sleeper pick was Vantage. Vantage is a great main tank, it's just he hasn't been able to show himself off in the community much. Vantage was a very big sleeper pick that we're looking for great things out of. He's a great player.
I'm gonna go with what I was saying before, Lordy. Lordy is very stable on all of his characters that he plays, and his Lucio is incredible. He engages fights and controls fights, so I really think he's going to be an integral piece and a possible star player, if not Alpha Omega. The two of them are going to be very controlling.
I don't really know. So obviously, the two best players on our team are supports. Hanzo, our first two picks, they're probably gonna become all-stars I'm confident in that. But later on, as Dazone, he like feels he works really hard, and I just get the feeling that he will grind and try and just become the best player he can. And if that means becoming an all-star, that means becoming an all-star.
To me, it's hard to answer like who do I think will be a surprise all-star, because each of the players bring like their own set of skills to the game, and I don't know enough of how they play in a team environment to really think that who's going to carry our team. But surprise, I think we drafted a lot of people that people don't know a lot about. I think Ian Kenny could be really good. I really do. He has some really great mechanics as well, and like he has some really good decision making. I also think, honestly, going back to Red Knight, he could be really good. Like obviously people pass on him because something turned them off, but I do think he'll be really good for the team, because like some of the packages I've already come up with to play him with Rygai, and some of the ways that like maybe we work Rygai in and out of the lineup. I think I have a very good problem to have two really good main tanks, and I also have two really good flex supports, because Ian Kenny is a flex support, so he's going to be like switching in and out with Aqua. So I have two really good backups for both positions, and I'm really excited to see how we kind of get them to flow the game and take them in and out. And I think both Red Knight and Ian Kenny will surprise a lot of people.
Did any of our picks get sniped?
Yes. So our dream starting roster, most of the players got sniped. The three players we got to keep were our captain, our first round pick, and our second round pick. The other players got sniped. So this is a funny story, because our ex-captain actually got sniped before we could even pick up our first player. So it was weird, champ, because we really wanted him. Unseen 89.
Honestly, I will say a lot of people I wanted got sniped, specifically by Hyperflex. Screw you, Regan. And I even DM'd Regan, and I'm like, stop taking people I want. Stop. I think specifically though, like I really wanted Herping Yoshi, but he went pretty early, and I didn't end up getting him. Another person I really wanted was Alpha Omega. Also, there definitely was some frustration in that.
Honestly, not really. The only like kind of snipe that happened was with Mistfire and round 7. Yeah, we wanted to pick him up in round 8, but he got picked up in round 7, which was kind of unfortunate. But other than that, none of our picks got sniped.
Yeah, that was the only one. A lot of our picks were, I don't want to say lesser known people, but we feel like we got a lot of diamonds that we found in the rough this season. This draft, a lot of people that we were surprised that didn't get picked up earlier. So our draft actually was really nice for us.
We did have a few people we were going to grab. Specifically,
100%.
There was Ian Kenny, who we were going to grab. He now plays for Rio. No, he plays for Wisdom. We'd also wanted Unseen and Blitz, respectively, of Hyperflex and Rio. And they're all good support players, and they'll all do well in the teams they're playing for. But Unseen and Blitz have a very strong connection, so we were trying to get them as a support duo. Outside of that, a lot of the players we picked up were who we wanted. I suppose the only other pick was Titanic, he was a very strong player, especially in the show match for the Captain's Cup. He played an incredibly strong Junkrat, flying through the air and then rip-tiring literally behind the other team, which was something.
No. However,
we got our first choice for every role in the starting 6, except for main tank, where we got our second role, or our second choice. So we got our first choice for pretty much everyone. And then after round 6, we were getting backups for all the roles that we wanted to have extra support in. But yeah, our starting 6 were pretty much our first choice for every role.
If you're talking about the pick like right before ours, taking the player that we wanted, no. There are obviously players that we would have liked to get that we weren't able to just because of the format that worked. Being second overall meant that we had essentially a double pick in certain rounds, but in other rounds we had 8 picks between our 1 pick and the next pick. So in those 8 picks in between, we definitely got a lot of picks taken from us that we would have taken in later rounds, but no one that we would have taken immediately with our next pick. So I don't think we got sniped specifically.
6 tanks, Bogyu.
Hell yeah, 6 tanks.
As our actual final words, we don't actually have 6 tanks.
We have 4.
We have 4. 2 of them are like main tank is gonna be their side role basically. But our actual tanks are Sneaky Snake, Vantage, Urban,
and Anti.
Yeah, and Anti-Crystal.
Not really. I just hope our team can. We just gotta grind and see the best we can do in this league.
I'm super excited for the season. I am super excited with our team at Hyperflex. I want to thank all of the players who came out to our pugs and took the time to try out for us. There's a lot of good players, and even the ones that aren't on Hyperflex, I wish you well with your seasons. But we are coming, and we are absolutely ready to take Novice Division this year.
We're gonna pop off this season.
Yeah, our team's stacked.
I feel like Plat Chat this season is, well, for one thing, a lot more stable than it is last season. So I don't think we're gonna go 1-9 and then win the bracket. I do think that we're probably in the top 3, if not tied for number 1 with Hyperflex. And all the teams in Novice look very good on paper, but I feel like it's going to come down to organization and just skill of the players, willingness to improve, and personality that's going to set us apart from the rest of the pack.
I'm just excited for this season. I did this because I wanted to recreate the community that the main roster kind of had. Like, I've been with my main roster for like over a year. And we're just a really good group of friends that climbed from high gold, low plat together, pretty much. And I want to recreate that feeling, that ability in the academy team. And I don't plan for us to just like stop after this. If they want to keep going after League 0, I'm prepared to take them there.
Let's find out.